representation of the cause and effect relationship of a system. Or you can say it is a pictorial representation of a input and output relationship of a system. So basically the interior of the rectangle, it represents, right, this interior of this rectangle, it represents this interior of this rectangle, it represents the block usually contains a description of or the name of the element. We'll see that in later. So basically this rectangle, it will represent or it will contains a description of or the name of the element or the symbol of mathematical operation to be performed on the input to yield the output. For example, here we can see here from this is a mathematical operation, this is a derivative operation. So the arrows represent the direction of information or signal flow. So you can see this is the direction of the arrow. So you can see in this direction the signal is flowing from this X to Y. In this case the Y is our output, or we can say the X is the input. So the operations of addition and subtraction, it is a special representation. So this operation for this addition and subtraction, it is represented by this small circle, right? This small circle, this block becomes a small circle and it is called a summing point. Remember this one. For this addition and subtraction, we have a block which is represented by a small circuit. It is called a summing point. This is a summing point at the plus minus, or it can be plus plus also. So it is known as a summing point. So the summing point with the appropriate plus or minus sign associated with the arrows entering this circle, right? So there are 3 arrows in this last one, and there is a output. So the output is the algebraic sum of the inputs, right? So we can see here this output is this X plus Y plus Z, because this X, Y and Z are entering this circle and then it is leaving, because leaving is the output. So it will be, all are positive symbol, so it will be, the output will be X plus Y plus Z. Similarly in this case, X is the positive and Y is negative, so the output will be X minus Y. So in some book or example, you will find that there is a small cross symbol placed inside this circle. Cross symbol placed inside this circle, inside the circle, okay, not outside the circle. We will see that. So this is called a summing point, right? Clear. First one is the summing point, which is important in our block diagram algebra. Similarly, the next one is called as a takeoff point, right? We will see what is a takeoff point. So in order to have the same signal or variable be an input to more than one block or summing point, a takeoff point is used, right? So you can see this X, suppose this is our X and there is a takeoff point, so the output will be same because it is coming from this input X. So from this takeoff point the output will remain same. Here similarly from this we have giving X, right? This is our input and this is your takeoff point. This takeoff point is represented in this dot, right? The output will be the number, it will not depend on the number of output. So the output from this takeoff point will be same as the input, right? From these 2 example, we can see this is the X is the, we are giving this input and we are getting all the 3X the output. And similarly here we are getting X input and we are getting 2X as output. So this is a significance of our takeoff point. So this permits the signal to proceed unaltered along several different paths to several destinations, right? Clear. So summing point and takeoff point. So in summing point there will be, the output will be the algebraic sum. In case of takeoff point, the output will be same as the input. So we'll see what is the significance of takeoff point in later. So let's consider this example. So consider this following equations in which this x1, x2 and x3 are variables, and this A1, A2 are the general coefficient or mathematical operators. So suppose our x3, it is represented as this A1 x1 plus A2 x2 minus 5. So how we can represent it in a block diagram? We can represent it, right? We have this output is equal to x3, and it is equal to this A1 x1 plus A2 x2 minus 5. That means we have to add a summing point for this plus and minus operation, this addition and subtraction operation. So you can see this here x3 is the output. So we have to add a summing point, and we have this negative minus, so we have to put a negative symbol here at the summing point negative, and this A1 x1 and A2 x2 are positive, so we have to add positive symbol near this summing point. Clear? So similarly we can do this A1 x1 into like this. So in the rectangle block, all the coefficient will remain, or mathematical operation will have to remain, just like our derivative integration. For addition and subtraction, we have to add our summing point. So here this x1 is the input, and we have to multiply it with A1 to get our output A1 x1. I think it is clear. This is not very difficult. Similarly, here, right, we can represent our this A1 x1 into this, right, this x1, and there will be this arrow mark, the flow of signal, and this rectangular block will contain the coefficient or the constant terms. This x1 is our variable, right? So variable will be represented in this arrow mark, x1, x2, and x3. And these are general coefficient. These are will be represented in this rectangular block. So let's see here the same equation. So we have this. We have to find this A1 x1, right? So A1 x1 can be represented by this path. A1 is the general coefficient, and x1 is the variable. So it will be, its output will be this A1 x1. Similarly, this A2 x2 can be depicted as same, this A2 and x2, and 5, right? We don't have to put the coefficient only 5. There is no variable, so we can simply put a 5 here. We don't have to represent it in a rectangular box. So we are getting the same A1 x1, A2 x2. So this A1 x1 is plus, A2 x2 is plus, and this 5 is minus. So we have to put this positive negative symbol according to its operation, and the output is the x3. The output is the x3. So the same example, right? Plus this one, this an1 minus this xn1, and this x are the variables and this a are the general coefficient. It's simple. In like in the previous example, we can do this one. This a1 x1, right? All are plus. So in this summing point, all will be positive. All this mathematical operation will be positive. So similarly, we can write this a1 x1 is equal to x1 into this a1. It will be represented in this rectangular. Similarly, up to this xn minus 1, and its coefficient is this a n minus 1. This coefficient will be represented inside this block, and the total will be this xn. The final output is this xn. Here the same example. No need to explain it again. So this is important, a very important topic for this block diagram algebra. So we can see here we have a basic block diagram. Okay, block diagram of our closed loop system. This is a closed loop system, right? We have a feedback path here, negative feedback because it is given as negative, and this RS is our reference input, or we can say input, so it will always be positive, and we are using a negative feedback, so that is why it is given as negative symbol. As we can see in the summing point, there is a cross symbol, right? We can represent it cross symbol or not, depends on you. So but this positive and negative, this notation you have to use for positive and negative feedback path, or this subtraction or addition. So let's see, these are the basics of a block diagram. So this R of S, it is known as this reference input. Remember these things, okay? R of S is the reference input. No, it is not your actual input. Suppose in case of our electrical equipment, this RS will be not our supply. It may be supply, but it is not necessary supply. So it is a reference input. Okay. Then this ES, this E of S is the actuating signal or error signal. Right? This actuating signal or error signal. Why it is called actuating signal? Because this will provide, this will give this the plant G of S to actuate according to our desired output. So it is a actuating signal, or we can say error signal, because it will be its output. Right? As E of S will be equal to this R of S minus B of S. Right here, I am not going to S now. So this E will be equal to this R minus B. Clear? That is why it is error signal. Why it is error? Because we are giving a feedback here from this output. So that means we are not getting our desired output. So that is why we are comparing it with the reference input and we are getting a error signal. Similarly, this G of S, we can say it is a plant transfer function. So it is known as this forward path transfer function, this G of S. Similarly, this C, we know C is the output, R is the reference input and C is the output. Similarly, H, this H of S is the feedback transfer function, right? We will later see that this feedback transfer function. Similarly, this B of S is the signal. So see here, all these this G of S and H of S, these are represented in this rectangle. All are depicted as this one function, transfer function. Right? This G of S is the forward path transfer function and H of S is the feedback transfer function. But all other things, this R of S, E of S, C of S and B of S, these are called signals. So you can say these are the variables. And these two are this constant term G of S and H of S. This G of S is our plant transfer function. That means a plant is always constant, right? We have to modify its parameter to change it. But we are considering a constant plant. And similarly, this H of S, the feedback path, that means feedback means we can use a sensor here. At this H of S, we can use a sensor. So if we determine a transfer function of sensor, then it will remain constant. That is why these constant terms are put in this rectangle. But all the signals are given in this arrow mark. Right. So clear, R of S is the reference input or input signal, E of S is the error signal, C of S is the output signal, B of S is the feedback signal. So from this diagram, we can write the C of S, this is our output, right? So we can see, only considering this line, we can say the C of S is the output, which will be equal to this E of S into G of S. Clear? These are in the straight line. So the signal and this coefficient will be this output. So we can write here the C of S is equal to G of S into E of S. Similarly, this B of S, we can write this B of S equal to, so this is a takeoff point, right here, this is a takeoff point. So what is its output will be, this output signal will be C of S, right? Because from this point, we are getting the C of S signal. So from this takeoff point, so this point will carry the signal C of S. So we can write this B of S will be equal to this H of S into this C of S. Clear? Because B of S is the output. It is equal to this H of S into this C of S, right? This takeoff point will carry the output signal C of S. Similarly, the E of S, the error signal, we can write error signal, it is the output from this summing point, right? So the R of S is positive and B of S is negative. So we can write this E of S is equal to R of S minus B of S. I think up to this all are clear. If you have any doubt, you can ask, then we'll proceed.
Sir, जदि feedback टा जदि positive होगा,
यदि एटा positive था, then it will be ES will be equal to RS plus BS. देखिए हला positive feedback और negative feedback रासु जी. ये basic clear. The C of S is equal to G of S into E of S and B of S is equal to H of S into C of S. Is clear? Okay, so
yes, sir.
So we have this motive of this topic is to determine the total transfer function. This is a closed loop, so we have to determine the closed loop transfer function for this block diagram. So that means closed loop transfer function means the whole transfer function means the output is the C of S and the input is C of S. So as we know, transfer function is the C of S divided by R of S, right? All are in the Laplace domain already. So it will be the C of S divided by R of S. So that means we have the C of S here and there is another this R of S. So we have to manipulate these three equations and we have to get this C of S by R of S. So from this we can write from these two equations, the C and B, by putting this value of C in this equation, right, in this B of S. So we will get this B of S equal to this H of S and C is this G of S into E of S. So similarly we can write this B of S divided by the E of S is equal to G of S H of S. This one is this up to this point, from this point to this point of this diagram we are determining. So in this case, so from this this point to this point, the input is E of S and the output is B of S, right? So we can write the B of S is the output and input is the E of S. So this will be this G of S and H of S. It will be the multiplication of this G of S and H of S. So this is known as our open loop transfer function, which is given by this G of S into H of S. Remember this one, open loop transfer function. Okay, because there is no closed loop, we are not considering this summing point. If there is no summing point, then it will not be a closed loop system. So up to this point, E is to B of S, it is a open loop system. So it will open loop transfer function is given as this G of S. Okay. Up to this clear, right? This B of S equal to H of S into G of S, E of S. So next we are calculating that this B of S divided by E of S equal to this one, this G of S into H of S. So that means if we consider this is a transfer function B of S and E of S, then from this diagram we can see this one will be the path or this one will be the diagram. Clear? We are not considering the summing point now. So that means this B of S is the output and E of S is the input. Yeah, so let's not consider this H of S, only consider this one. Okay, this path, we are not considering the summing point and not the feedback path, only this path. So at that time the output is C of S and input is E of S. Clear? So if we calculate the transfer function, then it will be open loop transfer function because we are not using a feedback path for a summing point. So the open loop transfer function for this line will be the C divided by E will be equal to G. This is clear, right? So from this takeoff point, right? This takeoff point, the C of S signal is going to this path. So now if we consider this path, there is no summing point. So that means this is not a closed loop system. So it is a open loop system. So for this, we can see the flow of signal is in this direction. That means this E of S is the input. And now up to this B of S is the output. So that means if we find the transfer function, then it will be the output divided by input. That means these two constant terms will be in multiplication because these are in series. We will see that later. Just know this. Now this output is B of S and the input is E of S. So we will get the open loop transfer function will be equal to this G of S into H of S. Clear na kisi doubt achi auri? Pachar this is basic hai. Aku aur bol kamera asbe. So it is open loop hela. So then we will go to closed loop system. That means we have to consider all these things. Okay. Consider closed loop. That means this C of S will be the output and this R of S will be the input. So similarly, we can write this C of S is equal to we will replace this E of S equal to R of S minus this B of S. So from similarly manipulating, we will get this C of S divided by R of S will be equal to this G of S divided by 1 by G H. Here, so this is the.
Sir, can you explain me the open loop 1 second?
Open loop, we know open loop means there is no feedback path, right? If we neglect this path up to this point, okay, just a minute.
So why we neglect that part? Just
Just we have to make it open loop. Right? This is a closed loop system. We have to make it an open loop system. So this is a closed loop system, okay, because we have a feedback path. This one is our feedback path. So this is our feedback path, right? So if we remove the feedback, then it will be an open loop system, right? So suppose we have this. Particular eraser. Suppose we have to okay. No, suppose we have to consider only this part up to this part, okay. So that means this is a open loop system. There is no feedback path. So that means this will be this. If we have to see that, then up to this path, the E of S is the input because this is the flow of signal, and similarly the C of S is the output. So as we know, the transfer function is the C of S divided by E of S, right? So that means we will get the transfer function will be G of S. So this will be the open loop transfer function because we are not considering this feedback path. And similarly for this path, up to this path, right, up to this path, we can say this is a straight line. Right, up to this is a straight line, right, with the flow of signal in this direction. That means there is no feedback path. So it is a open loop system. If there is a feedback path, then it is a closed loop system. But in this case, here no feedback path for this path, right, G of S and H of S. So in this case, we can see the direction of arrow is in this direction. That means the signal will flow from input to output. So we can say the input is now E of S and the output is B of S. If we are considering only this part and there is no feedback path, so it is a open loop system. So the output is B of S and input is E of S. So we can write the B of S divided by E of S is equal to this G of S into H of S. So this is known as the open loop transfer function because we are not using a feedback path. Clear na? Kichi doubt achi?
So understood.
Similarly, if we manipulate the equations, right, we will get the closed loop. Just go through these equations, just simple mathematics. So we will get the closed loop transfer function to be this one, because in this diagram, this is a closed loop path, right? If we consider the whole diagram, then we have this closed loop path because we have a feedback path here and a summing point here. So this is a closed loop system. So for this closed loop system, the output is C of S and input is R of S, and it is a negative feedback system, right? Here we have, because the feedback is a negative symbol. So the transfer function for a closed loop system will be this one. Is G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S, right? So this is known as the closed loop transfer function. So for the open loop transfer function, it will be G of S into H of S, and for closed loop transfer function, G of S divided by 1 plus G of S H of S. So remember this point. See here, it is given as is 1 plus G of S H of S. So this is for negative feedback system. So if we have a positive feedback system, then it will become negative. Clear? For negative, it will be 1 plus, and for positive feedback system, it will be 1 minus G of S H of S. So that is why we normally don't use positive feedback system. So if in case of positive feedback system, if this G of S and H of S becomes equal to 1, then what will happen? We will get the system, our system will become infinite, right? This G of S divided by 0. So at that time, our system will become infinite. So that is why we normally don't use positive feedback system. But there are systems, those use positive feedback. We'll discuss those later. So this is for this closed loop transfer function for negative feedback, which is G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. Similarly, for positive feedback system, it will be G of S divided by 1 minus G of S H of S. These are the basic open loop and for the closed loop transfer function. So in this case, see here, right here there is no g of s, sorry, no h of s, only g of s is given. The output is c of s and input is r of s. So if the feedback is a simple straight line, that means the value of h of s is equal to 1. So it is called a unity feedback system. Right, unity feedback system. So now the transfer function will become, for negative feedback system, the c divided by r will be g divided by 1 plus g, because it is a unity feedback system. At the time h will be 1. That is why it is called unity feedback system, and it is dependent with this simple straight line. There will be no h of s. Just go through this. We don't require this much. Why feedback is not c of s? Okay. Oh, c of s is the output. Yes, here. See here. Now this will be an error signal. So right. So this is with the error signal. This will be the, sorry. Right, okay. So we know this is our error signal E of S, right? This is the error signal, and now the output is C of S. This is the output C of S. So now this is a takeoff point, right? We know this is a takeoff point. So what is the output of takeoff point? It is the output of takeoff point will be the point where it is being taken. So this point, this is C of S. So now this is C, right? The C of S signal is flowing in this H of S. It is a unity feedback system, but it will not be, the E will be not equal to this R minus 1. It will be R minus C. The error signal will be R of S minus C of S, because it's a takeoff point. So from takeoff point, this will be the signal. The signal C of S will flow in this direction. Clear? This will be the error signal. So the same things, the C by R is equal to this G divided by 1 plus minus GH. So 1 plus will be for negative feedback system, and 1 plus will be for 1 minus will be for this positive feedback system. Similarly, for this E by R, this actuating signal error will be 1 divided by 1 plus minus G of H. It will depend on the negative or positive feedback system. So we only require these for your knowledge. You have to learn this E by R and B by R. So basically we are going to need this one, this C by R. So let's see what is the characteristics equation of a closed loop transfer function. So this is the control ratio. Also it is known as the control ratio, C of S divided by R of S. The control ratio is the closed loop transfer function of the system. So it is given as this G of S divided by this 1 plus this G of S into H of S. So the denominator of the closed loop transfer function determines the characteristic equation of the system. So this is a closed loop system, C by R. So this denominator of the closed loop transfer function will determine the characteristic equation of the system. So the characteristic equation, it is normally written as this 1 plus minus G of S into H of S equal to 0. This plus or minus, it is given because we don't know whether it is a positive or negative feedback system. So it is written 1 plus minus g of s into h of s equal to 0. So this is our characteristic equation of a closed loop transfer function. So the same things, all these are the same things we have discussed. So next, this is important. So let me ask you once again. I think the basic of block diagram clear, right? This open loop and closed loop system, the takeoff point and summing point. Because in this reduction of complicated block diagram, we have to use those summing point and takeoff point and the signals. So let's see then reduction of complicated block diagrams. The block diagram of a practical control system is often quite complicated, right? We'll see those. So it may include several feedback or feed forward loops and multiple input. So by means of systematic block diagram reduction, every multiple loop linear feedback system may be reduced to the canonical form. So these canonical forms, we will discuss this in the fourth module. Okay, so just know there is a form of representation, canonical form. So these are the basic rules in reducing the block diagrams. So if two blocks are in cascade, right? If they are in series, then it will be the multiplication. We can represent if two blocks are in series, then we can reduce it by doing this multiplication. It will be represented with a single block with G1 into G2. This is the first basic rule. And the second one is combining blocks in parallel. Okay, so how do you know it is a parallel or a feedback path? So we have to see the flow of our signal, right? The flow of our signal. So all the signal are in the same direction to this summing point, right? From this takeoff point, it is the arrow are in the same direction. That means they are in parallel. So basically we can say, because these two are plus symbol, so we can write it will be G1 plus G2. So if there is a negative symbol, then it will be G1 minus G2. So see the difference here in the summing point, right? These two output of this G1 and G2 are in the same direction. So this is called a, this is in parallel. But in the previous case, here we can see the signal, this signal is in the opposite direction in the flow of our input signal. So it is a feedback loop. Okay, it is a closed loop or feedback loop. But in this case, the arrow are in the same direction. So it will be called in parallel. Clear? If the reverse direction thibo arrow, then it will be a feedback or closed loop. And if the arrow direction of arrow are in the same, then it will be the blocks are in parallel. Okay, I think this is clear. In same direction and in opposite direction. So similarly, moving a summing point behind a block, right? So suppose there is a summing point before this block, then and we want to move this summing point is behind this block. So first we have to see that what is this output. Okay, what is this output? So this is, you can say this will be G. The output is G here. So if we move this block here, then we have to add this negative point for this subtraction of this G. So this will be this G and minus of this G, because this will be, because we have to maintain this output of this summing point. You have to maintain this output of this summing point. So suppose there is nothing is given, so that means that is why, suppose this is 0, right? So that is why the output of this summing point should be same. If we move it, is behind or ahead of this block. So if we have to move this summing point behind a block, then we have to add another block in the feedback path. It's negative feedback path. So similarly, if we have to move the summing point ahead of this block, then we have to do a 1 by G. We have to add a 1 by G block in the feedback path. Just a minute, I think I had a better implementation. right? So from this, we can do this mathematics equations also, right? So if it is in series connection, then why it will be multiplied, right? So we have these two blocks G1 and G2. We have these two blocks G1 and G2. So suppose the output of this G1 block is Z of S and the output of this G2 block is Y of S. So this is a open loop system. It is not a closed loop system because there is no feedback path. So if we have to find the transfer function, then for this point of this, between this point, this Z of S and Y of S, then Y of S is the input, sorry, output, Y of S is the output, and Z of S is the input to this block. So we can write this Y by Z, or we can write this Y of S is equal to this G2 of S into Z of S, right? So this is the output Y of S. So now we can say this Z of S is equal to this X of S into this G1 into G1 of S. So Z of S can be replaced with this X of S into this G1 of S. So the final equation, this Y of S, we can see by representing this Z of S, we will get this G1 of S into G2 of S into X of S. Okay. So that means we can write the final transfer function, that is final output is Y of S and the initial input is X of S. So Y of S divided by X of S is equal to G1 into G2. So that is why if the blocks are connected in series, then it will be the final transfer function will be the simple multiplication of these two transfer functions G1 of S and G2 of S. Similarly, in this parallel combination, you can also go through this mathematical derivation, then why it is being added. So if it is in cascade condition, then in parallel combination, then the final transfer function will be this G1 of S plus G2 of S. So this is a feedback connection. Okay, remember here we can see all the arrow are in this same direction. So it is a we can say feed forward path for a parallel connection. But in this case here, this is in this direction the arrow, but there is a takeoff point and there is a the direction of arrow in the opposite that of this signal. So we can say this is the feedback connection or the feedback loop. So we know this is a closed loop system. So Y of S is the output and X of S is the input. So we have already derived. So we will get what we will get the transfer function is a negative feedback system. So we will get this Y of S divided by X of S will be this G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. And this is a negative feedback system. So we will get this G of S divided by 1 plus G of S H of S. The positive feedback, if there is a positive feedback system, then it will be 1 plus G of S into H of S. Similarly, shifting the summing point after this block, right? So here see we have a positive feedback here. Let's say this is our positive feedback, this X of S, and the R of S is the reference input. Then what is the output of this summing point? So it is R of S plus X of S, right? This is the output of the summing point, and now this R of S and X of S is being given as input to this G of S. So we can write this Y of S is equal to this R of S plus X of S into G of S, right? This will be the open loop transfer function to this path. Up to this path is a open loop path. The transfer function will be this one. This Y of S is equal to this G of S into R of S plus X of S. So as you know, this we have to shift this summing point here. You have to shift this summing point here. So that means then we have to maintain our this output Y of S. We have to maintain our output this Y of S is equal to this one. So that means then here we have shifted our summing point beyond this block, right? So now this what is this input? Before the input to this summing point was this R of S and X of S. So now this input to this summing point is this G of S and this R of S, and now this is the X of S, right? So we can see here we will not get the output as previous one. This is the previous output. It should be the output after changing this summing point. But here we can see this y of s is now this g of s into r of s plus x of s. So another g of s is missing here in this equation. So that means we have to add a block here and put a g of s. And we have to put a g here. Here the same. Now we can see we have to add a block of this g of s, and now this output y of s will be equal to this g of s into r of s plus g of s into x of s. Just go through this PDF. I have already shared this one. We have to check that the output remain same always.
ଟିକେ ଆଉଥରେ ରିପିଟ୍ କରିବେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ
ଏଇଟା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସେ ଯୋଉ ଶିଫ୍ଟ କହିଲେ ଯୋଉ ଏବେ ନା
ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଆମକୁ ରିଡକ୍ସନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ଆମକୁ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ହେଲା, ସେଟା ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ନ୍ୟୁମେରିକାଲରେ। ସୋ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଆମର କ'ଣ ଥିଲା, ସମିଂ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲା ବ୍ଲକ ପୂର୍ବରୁ। ଓକେ, ଦିସ୍ ବ୍ଲକ, ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଆୱାର ପ୍ଲାଣ୍ଟ, ଦିସ୍ ଜି ଅଫ୍ ଏସ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ପ୍ଲାଣ୍ଟ। ଓକେ, ସୋ ସମିଂ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲା ଆମର ବ୍ଲକ ପୂର୍ବରୁ। ସୋ ନା ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଦିସ୍ ଆଉଟପୁଟ୍ ୱାଇ ଅଫ୍ ଏସ୍ ଟା ଆଉଟପୁଟ୍ କ'ଣ ହବ? Y of s is equal to this g of s into r of s plus x of s. Clear? Up to this clear? So if we simplify this, then we will get this y of s is equal to this g of s into r of s plus g of s into x of s. Clear? Simple mathematics. Series रे अच्छी सब multiply हबो तो function. So y of s our output. So y of s is equal to this g of s into this input, its input. Okay, the r of s plus x of s. So this r plus x टा go to asila a dita hela input r and x with a summing point with positive symbol. That is why it is r plus x. So now this y is equal to this r plus x into g. This for further simplifying we will get y is equal to g into r plus g into x. Up to this clear? So now we have to move this block after move this summing point after this block, right here. We have moved this block after we have moved this summing point after this block. So now without changing anything, let's see what is the output now. What is the y of s? So we can see the output of this g of s block will be this g of s into r of s, right? Series achi multiply habo, and similarly we have not changed this x of s. Jaha achi sei achi. So now we can see the output will be the summation of these two signals, is g of s into r of s plus x of s. So we can see this is the output now after changing this place of the summing point. But previously it was this gr plus gx, but now we can see it is gr plus x only. There is a g top missing with this x top. So that means we have to add a g of s term with the x of s. So you can see here, then we have to add this g of s with this x of s signal. So now we can see the output is this g of s into r of s plus g of s into x of s. So it is same as the previous one, where the summing point was this before this g of s. Clear? If we have to change the summing point, then we have to make sure that the output remain same. Clear? Next doubt is Chaudhary.
No sir.
Okay, the same thing also here, right? Shifting a summing point before the block, right? So anyone guess what will happen with this x of s signal if we change this place of the summing point to here? Any guess? What changes we have to do with this x of s?
We have to multiply inverse of gs.
Yes, we have to multiply inverse of g of s, because see the output here is, this is our original diagram. Okay, the output is g of s into r of s plus x of s. This is the output. So if we shift this block, if we shift this summing point before this block, then now the output becomes this one, the previous one, right? This gr plus g of x. So that means we have extra g of s term with this x of s. So that means we have to add a inverse of this g of s. Is here? we have to add a inverse of 1 by g of s with this x of s term, so that we will get the output y of s as our original diagram. Clear? So remember, यदि हमें g of s पर को नवा देन it will be only g, and यदि हमें पूर्व को आनिवा देन we have to add 1 by g with this x of s. Similarly, take off point, right? So take off point means this is our, let's say this is our x of s. Okay, this is our x of s, this is our y of s, and this is our r of s. This will be r of s, so let's say this is our x of s. Okay, so here this x of s is r of s, because this take-off point is taken from this r of s. So that is why this x of s will be equal to this r of s. Take-off point to जहाँ signal बाहरिबो, the signal same रहिबो तारो original signal सहित. So now we can say, so at this point also it is r of s. Okay, at this point also it is r of s. कहीं ना जितना भी output बाहरिबो input to take-off point रे same रहिबो तारा output टा input सहित. So this is also r of s and this is also r of s. So we can say this y of s will be this g of s into r of s. So now we have to shift this takeoff point to here. Right. So we have to shift this takeoff point to here. So then that means we have to add a 1 by g of s. Right. We can जेमिति हमें करथले समिंग पॉइंट रे सेमिति हम याको सॉल्व करि परिबा. So suppose there is this no 1 by g of s. Okay, just forget that there is no this 1 by g of s. Only we have this one. We have shifted this takeoff point. So now, so what will be the output of this takeoff point? Now this output of the takeoff point will be this one, this r of s into g of s. But previously it was only r of s. So we are getting now this r of s, sorry, this r of s into g of s. So that is why we have to add this 1 by g of s, so that we will get only our original signal, is x of s. So similarly, if we have to shift this takeoff point before this pull-up, we have to shift this takeoff point to here. So now here we can see that this y of s is equal to only this g of s into r of s, and this x of s is equal to also same, right? This x of s, because this is the signal also coming here. This x of s is also this r of s into g of s, and y of s is also same. So if we have to shift this takeoff point to here, then that means we will be missing a g of s term, right? This g of s term will be missing. So we have to add a g of s term here, so that our output remain same. Clear these rules? Just go through little bit, will clearly understand. The same things I have discussed here. Right, so see here, eliminating a feedback loop. So we can eliminate a feedback loop with this g divided by 1 plus minus gh, and if the h is equal to 1, then it will become g divided by 1 plus minus g, because h is equal to 1. It is a unity feedback path, so that is why it is represented with a single straight line. So we can swap two neighboring summing point also, but I will not suggest swapping two neighboring summing point. It may create a problem. So let's see this basic block diagram. Okay, basic. This is a very basic one. So right, so we have to reduce this block diagram. Right, so there are so many equipment. Suppose this G1, G2, G3, G4 are a system of a plant. Right, so this G2 and G3 are connected in parallel. This G1 and G4 are connected in series. All are system of a plant. And this H1 and H2 are sensor. It may be different sensor. Pressure H1 may be pressure sensor and H2 may be temperature sensor. And these G are the systems of a plant. So these are connected in this manner. So we have to find the overall transfer function for this block diagram, or we can say this system, right? So then we have to use the basic rules of this block diagram reduction. So first thing, we have to find if there are any blocks are connected in series or parallel or there is a feedback path. Okay, we have to see those. So first we can see here this G1 and G4, these two are connected in series, right? This G1 and G4 are connected in series, so we can represent it in a single block. So as these are in series, so we have to multiply it, G1 into G4. So next see, we have if there is any series or parallel, any other. So we can see here there is another block here. Okay, so you can see the direction of arrow are in the same direction. So that means these two are in parallel. Okay, this G3 and G2 are in parallel. So if two blocks are in parallel, that means that will be added. So this G2 and G3 will be the summation. It will be represented with a single block with the G2 plus G3. Right. So this G1 and G4, it is represented in single block with this G1 into G4, and this parallel combination is represented with this summation with this G2 plus G3. Right. So we have to now, as we have added this, then we have to remove this summing point. Then we have to redraw other parts. This one, this H2 and this H1. So next we have to see any series, parallel, or feedback path. So we can see here the direction of arrow for this block is in this direction, and this signal of this H1 is in the opposite direction, and then there is a summing point. So that means it is a closed loop, or we can say feedback path. So we know for this closed loop system we have to make this. So let's see, this is a positive feedback system, right? Positive is given, so it will be G divided by 1 minus G into H. So here G is G1 into G4 and H is H1. Hey, so G is G1 into G4 and H is H1. So we can write, as a positive feedback system, it will be this G1 into G4 divided by 1 minus G1, G4 and H1. Clear? Up to this clear? Positive feedback system, so it will be negative symbol. So now we have to replace this path. We have to replace this path with this block, right? With this block. So we have replaced this block, and now we have to redraw the diagram again with the other remaining blocks. So G2 and G3 was there and H2 was there. So now see this block, this G1, G4 divided by this term, and this G2 plus G3 are in series, right? Are in series. So that means it will be multiplied. So it will be multiplied. So G1, G4 into G2 plus G3 divided by 1 minus G1, G4, H1. And then we have to redraw again with this feedback path H2. And this is a negative feedback. So now this becomes our G, and now H is the H2. Right. So then we have to find the overall transfer function C by R by using this negative feedback path, right? Negative feedback path, that is because the direction of arrow from this takeoff point are in opposite. So this is a feedback path or closed loop system. So this is our G, this is our G, and this is our H. So we have to do same again. This G divided by 1 plus this G into H2, and then we have to solve. Clear? This is very basic. Any doubt in this block diagram reduction?
सर सर से जो लास्ट डायग्राम टा देखौतले सेथरे न्यूमरेटर रे जो g अछि और डिनोमिनेटर रे जो g अछि सेटा तो इक्वल नो
कोठ
सर जोड़ा लास्ट एबे डिस्कस करतले
जो एग्जांपल टा
आगे एग्जांपल 5
को पार्ट रे कहलो ए डायग्राम
सर जोड़ा G1 G4 into G2 plus G3 divided by 1 minus G1 G4 into H.
अच्छा तो ए पॉइंट
यस सर
हां
सर 8 जोटा जी न्यूमरेटर रे G1 G4 into G2 plus G3 अछि बट डिनोमिनेटर रे 1 minus G1 G4 into H1 अछि
हां एटा तो
यस सर
ए डायग्राम तो
यस सर
तो देखो एटी कोन हला हमरो ए दीटा ब्लॉक कोन अछि सीरीज रे अछि हला दीटा ब्लॉक सीरीज रे तो दैट मींस कोन हबो तार रिजल्टेंट कोन हबो ए सीरीज रे थिले मल्टीप्लिकेशन हबो
yes sir.
ଦୁଇଟା ମଲ୍ଟିପ୍ଲାଏ କଲେ କ'ଣ ଆସିବ? ଡିନୋମିନେଟର ସେମ୍ ରହିବ ନା, କାହିଁକିନା ତ ନୋମିନେଟର ହିଁ ମଲ୍ଟିପ୍ଲାଏ ହବ G1 G2 ପ୍ଲସ୍ G3। ସେଇଟା ଡାଉଟ୍ ନା ଅଲଗା କ'ଣ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି?
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ ବୁଝିଲି।
ଆଉ କାହାର କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ଯଦି ପଚାରି ପାରିବ। ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡ଼ା ନ୍ୟୁମେରିକାଲ ଅଛି କରିବା। ତ ମୁଁ ଆଗରୁ ତମକୁ ପଠେଇଦେବି ଏ ପିଡିଏଫଟା, ଜଷ୍ଟ ଗୋ ଥ୍ରୁ ଦ ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ୍ସ ହେଲା। ୟା ପରେ ଖାଲି ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ୍ ଅଛି, ଦେଖିଥିବ, ଯାହାର ଡାଉଟ୍ ବାହାରିବ ପଚାରିବ। ଷ୍ଟେପ୍ ବାଇ ଷ୍ଟେପ୍ ଅଛି କେମିତି ସଲ୍ଭ ହବ। ତ ଫର୍ ଟୁମୋରୋସ୍ ଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ହେଲା, କାଲି ସେକ୍ସନ୍ 8 ପିଲାଙ୍କର ଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ଅଛି। ତ ଯଦି ତମେ ଲ୍ୟାପଟପ୍ରେ ମ୍ୟାଟଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ରଖିଛ ତାହେଲେ ବହୁତ ବଢ଼ିଆ କଥା, ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ ୱିଥ୍ ମି। ଓକେ, ଆଉ ଯଦି ଲ୍ୟାପଟପ୍ ନାହିଁ କି ମ୍ୟାଟଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ନାହିଁ ତାହେଲେ କିଛି କରାଯାଇପାରିବନି। ଦେଖିବ ଖାଲି ଶିଖିବ, ଡାଉଟ୍ ପଚାରିବ। ତ ଯାହାର ଲ୍ୟାପଟପ୍ ଅଛି ହେଲା, ୟୁ ସୁଡ୍ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍।
ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ମ୍ୟାଟଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ସିମୁଲେସନ୍ ହବନି?
ତମେ ଯାହା କରୁଛ କର ହେଲା, ବଟ୍ ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ମ୍ୟାଟଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ସିମୁଲେସନରେ ସବୁ ଫଙ୍କସନ୍ କାମ କରିବ କି ନାହିଁ ମୋତେ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଲାଗୁଛି।
ସେଟା କାମ କରେନି ତ, ତାର କିଛି ଅଲ୍ଟରନେଟିଭ୍
ହେଲା ମ୍ୟାଟଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ଇନଷ୍ଟଲ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଆଉ ମ୍ୟାଟଲ୍ୟାବ୍ ତମ ପାଖରେ ମେ ବି ନଥାଇପାରେ, ଡାଉନଲୋଡ୍ କରିବ ମାନେ ଯାହାହେଲେ 7-8 GB ପଡ଼େ। 7-8 GB। ଲେଟେଷ୍ଟଟା ଯେଉଁ ଲେଟେଷ୍ଟ 2019ର ଅଛି ସେଟା 27 ନା 28 GB ର। ଯେତେବେଳେ 2010 ନା 11 ପକେଇବ ସେଟା 7 ନା 8 GB ର ଅଛି। ଯାହାର ବ୍ରଡବ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଥିବ ଯଦି ଡାଉନଲୋଡ୍ କରିପାରିବ, ଜିଓରୁ ତ କରିପାରିବନି। ଦିନକୁ 2 GB ହେଲେ ବି ତୁମକୁ 5 ଦିନ ଲାଗିବ। ଯଦି ପସିବଲ୍ ଦେନ୍ ମ୍ୟାଟଲ୍ୟାବ୍ଟା ଡାଉନଲୋଡ୍ କରିକି ଇନଷ୍ଟଲ୍ କର ହେଲା, ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ କଲେ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଭଲ ହେବ।